We couldn't have asked for a better start to the sunrise safari, but it's the sunset safari time. Before we could even start our drive, I couldn't resist coming down to the Spruit, well, to see water, rocks, and all these beautiful trees. But we're not going to be looking for birds this afternoon. We're going to save that for another day. I'd like to try and find some of the cat members that roam on Valgevonden and, well, hopefully introduce them to you. We haven't had any luck just yet in terms of picking up any lion tracks, and the reason why I'm checking in this area at the moment is that this morning we were a bit far away to get to a sighting, and there was 3 lions, 2 young males and then a different female from the one that I told you about, and they were kind of running around chasing things from warthogs to impalas behind us on these ridges, and they went and drank water and then they continued chasing warthogs. So the area that they were potentially coming down into is around here. They could have just, you know, rested for the rest of the morning, but if they were that hungry, of course the heat doesn't stop them, and it's not particularly hot at the moment. So I've just been navigating really slowly along this road, but no signs of lions crossing here yet. We've seen lots of elephant tracks though, plenty of baboon, zebra, and everything else in between. Oh, speaking of, sorry, Kat, there's more in front, but yeah, the zebra. I was wondering why those tracks looked so fresh. Yeah, it just looks like 3 individuals that I can see at the moment standing around. There were places actually on the road where they were dust bathing. This one's quite a relaxed individual. Beautiful mare. And I think we're going to fight them. For not as in a physical fight, but as in it doesn't look like they want to leave the road, which is quite nice. Most of the time when we see zebra, they tend to dart off into the bushes, so I will absolutely enjoy this. And the colors are just so contrasting. I do keep stopping and listening because the elephant tracks we had as well were super fresh. And with this stream running along here, there's not really much fresh water in this area. So I think a lot of the life will start to hang around here, especially when they're in these northern parts of the reserve. We haven't had any luck with lion tracks, so I suspect the ridge that they went over and the valley that they've gone into, well, they haven't crossed any roads, so they must still be in there, maybe waiting for the sun to drop. Who knows? Hopefully they caught something. They looked like they were quite hungry. So we're going to change our route a little bit now. We've started climbing up into some of the ridges, and I did see lots of buffalo tracks when we drove past here this morning. So there's some nice open clearings. I'm going to have a look, and hopefully we can find the buffalo. Valgevonden has dabbled in many different conservation projects, and one of them is actually clearing the bush to create big open plains. It's something that's not naturally occurring in areas like this on Valgevonden, but they're trying to increase biodiversity and also grazing opportunities for the animals that now inhabit this reserve. And that's what you're looking at right now. We're sitting at probably the plains with the best view, and there is also a water hole here, which means that loads of animals will come down and utilize this space, not just for grazing, but of course, why would you not want to quench your thirst after a long day of eating? So that's what we're seeing here, a bunch of different animals, warthogs, zebras, buffalo, and rhinos, all slowly waiting their turn to take a drink. But of course the buffalo have got you first, and there's so many of them that they've taken up the entire waterhole and booted everybody else around. But look, the rhinos are finally making their way down. And this is going to get quite interesting. The rhino on the left looks like it's a bull, and he's quite excited by the presence of these cows. So maybe one of them is coming into estrus, or maybe he's just coming over to say hello. But you can visibly see that the cow with the large horn is not interested in this bull, and in fact looks quite upset. So you can see he moves forward, inching closer and closer, ears pricked forward, very curious, almost playful. But she's not having it. She's pretty much exhibiting the complete opposite behavior. Ears flat back. Almost looks like she's grinding her teeth. She'll raise her head. You can see her shuffling her feet, kicking up all that dust. And she's going to charge forward in a moment. Look at the size difference between the two of them. Wow, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? This is a picture perfect moment. Well, she's still really unhappy with him. He's not really pressuring her too much. He's sort of just standing his ground and inching forward slowly. She sort of backpedals a bit. Oh, there we go. Now she's picking up the pace. She doesn't want to be there. There you go. Okay. Now she's grinding her teeth. Ears flat back again. Almost looks like she's lining up for a charge. And he's completely unperturbed by her. Not getting the message. I think he has understood that she's not interested in him and at this moment in time. But courtship with rhinos doesn't just happen immediately. It's something that takes a lot of time. So the males are typically quite patient and persistent, as you can see here. So he's just going to keep trying his luck until hopefully, well, she thinks that he is the best bull to mate with. Oh, isn't that sweet, those two bulls? Not necessarily a very cute moment. I mean, goodness gracious, the bull on the right, look at the size of his horns. His boss is huge. And he's a young boy. He's still got a lot of growing to do. And the bull that was on the left was a slightly older individual. Wow, that's going to be an impressive one. It's time for myself and Claire to head back. A big thank you, of course, to our hosts, Sadiba, Makweti, and Ungubani. We'll see you out there again.